I've been taking a lot of questions regarding what happens after you define your goals. So essentially, people appear to be stuck on how to proceed. So, what you have to do is, as you now know the goals you want to pursue, naturally you will start to go through life and you will be aware that there's things that you want to do, and there will be also things that you feel you should do. So, usually, the things we feel we should do, especially if they're different from things you used to do before, it's always things that you should essentially take care of for you to go into the path that you want to pursue in order to obtain these goals that you defined. So, because usually people are not really living life with the intention of pursuing certain goals, they may not be used to have this intuition of feeling they should do something or they should go somewhere. But as you set the intention of accomplishing certain goals, these things will start to happen to you. So naturally, you can be feeling that you should be doing certain things, or you should be going into certain locations, or you should be speaking to some people. So when it's a feeling and you can't even explain it, usually it's a way for you to just go into the path you are pursuing in terms of the objectives you want to achieve. Our brain will tend to bind us to what is used to do. So it's important to understand that if there's things you're thinking you should be doing that are going against some things you maybe feeling that you should be doing, if the things you're thinking are just pretty much the same you used to do, usually the best thing to do is actually to go with the feeling and not with what you think. Remember that if you define new goals, it's likely that you have to do things that you weren't doing before, or you should do things in a different way. So, what this means is if you have different thoughts that are coming to you, and they're essentially going one against each other, and you don't know which one you should pursue, the feeling tends to be the way that will go to the new objective. And if there's two thoughts or more than them, and there's like thoughts you're having that you should be doing things that you used to do before, and you may be aware that those things didn't really drive you to the objectives you are pursuing, essentially means those things should not be the ones that will get you there. Again, with practice, this starts to be more intuitive because you start to understand better the things that you actually should pay attention and the things you shouldn't. So, what also happens is our brain either binds us to what we were used to do, which tends to keep ourselves on our loop, especially to people that have lives that are stagnated in terms of progress in the fields they're trying to change. The brain will make you do the same things because it's your comfort zone, it's what your brain is programmed to do. because the brain works on programmable way. So everything you're used to do, the brain will tell you to keep doing those things. Essentially, if you want to change something in your life, you will have to go against your brain in the beginning, because by repetition, it will just bind you to the same actions, and therefore you will get the same outcome. So again, the moving part, the starting part, especially for people that have lives that are stagnated, it's a bit painful because you're used to have your life very stable and very constant. And when you start to look for changes, all of a sudden your life starts to shake in a way how you perceive it. You start to feel that life actually becomes alive, which you weren't really where you used to do. And you're pushing out of your comfort zone because essentially you're feeling like you're having this sensation of you have to do things you're not used to do before, and you will be naturally not willing to do those because you're so used to what you do every day that doing something different or changing whatever you may be feeling you should change is just something uncomfortable, especially in the beginning. Again, when this starts to go, starts to flow more naturally, as you're getting used to changes on your daily basis, essentially you get used to the changes the same way you're used now to have the life pretty much as it is right now. So it's only the matter of making the difference between the stable life and the life that starts to change. This is an adaptation process that takes some time, and in the beginning, essentially, we tend to fight it because we don't like it in the beginning. We're used to comfort. But again, naturally, things start to flow, and you will understand that actually what happens is as you're used to make progress in life, and there you as you're used to obtain new goals and set new ones again to keep going, you will find yourself into this discomfort actually when you're feeling that there's no change to being adding up, because you do know that if you just do pretty much the same things all the time, you could technically stagnate your life again. Sometimes may not be the case when it's referring to, for example, analyzing your life and going through your business processes eventually. If you're trying to improve your business, those things are pretty much something that you have to do every day. If you're looking for progress, either in business or personal progress in terms of personal growth, personal development, essentially analyzing everything on a daily basis is a very good thing you should be doing on both cases, because as you analyze, you become aware of what you're doing and what you can eventually do to optimize everything. So, again, any other questions you may send me directly, and I'll be uniting all the content that I can see and eventually just make some new videos. I hope this was clear for you, and every other question you may send and I may reply directly as well.